Before you scroll, just listen for 30 seconds, because what I'm about to reveal might be the reason your entire life feels incomplete. What if everything you see, everything you touch, everything you believe is real, is nothing more than a carefully constructed illusion? Your eyes don't show you reality, they show you a filtered version of it. Your brain edits, distorts, and reshapes the world before you even become aware of it. You trust your senses, but your senses are limited, controlled, incomplete. Einstein once suggested that reality, as we experience it, is not as solid as it appears, that space and time themselves are flexible, bendable, even deceptive. Think about that for a moment. The ground beneath your feet feels stable, but at a deeper level, it's a chaotic dance of energy and particles. What you call real is simply what your mind agrees to accept. Society builds on this illusion, teaching you what to see, how to think, what to believe. From childhood, your perception is shaped, molded, confined within invisible boundaries. You never question it because it feels normal, but normal doesn't mean true. The truth is, you've been living inside a version of reality that was designed for you, not by you. And the moment you start questioning it, the moment you begin to see beyond the surface, everything starts to crack. The illusion weakens. The world you once trusted begins to feel uncertain. And here's the part that changes everything. Once you see through the illusion, you can never go back. Because reality was never what it seemed, it was only what you were allowed to see. You like to believe you're in control of your life, that your thoughts are your own, that your choices define who you are. But what if none of that is true? What if from the very moment you were born, your mind was quietly programmed, shaped by forces you never even noticed? As a child, you didn't question the world, you absorbed it. Every word, every rule, every belief was planted into your mind like a seed. Your parents, your school, your environment, all of them contributed to building a version of you that fits within the system. You were taught what is right, what is wrong, what success looks like, what failure feels like, and slowly, without realizing it, you stopped thinking freely. You started thinking within boundaries. The education system didn't teach you how to think. It taught you what to think. It rewarded obedience, punished curiosity. And fear became your silent guide. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of stepping outside the norm. Even Einstein himself struggled against this system, questioning authority, challenging accepted truth, refusing to blindly follow the rules. That's what made him different. That's what made him dangerous to the system. Because a person who thinks freely cannot be controlled. And now here you are, living a life that feels normal, but was never truly chosen by you. The beliefs you defend, the limits you accept, the path you follow, all of it was written before you even realized it. But here's the truth, they don't want you to understand. Programming can be broken. You can unlearn everything. You can rebuild your mind from scratch, but only if you are willing to question everything you've ever believed. Because if you don't, you won't be living your life. You'll be living the life you were programmed to live. You think time is moving forward, that the past is behind you, and the future is ahead. You believe you are constantly progressing from one moment to the next. But what if that entire idea is wrong? What if time as you experience it is not real at all? Einstein once revealed a truth so unsettling that most people choose to ignore it, that time is not absolute. It doesn't flow the same for everyone. It can stretch, slow down, even bend, depending on how you move and where you are. That means the timeline you trust, the one you organize your entire life around, is not fixed. It's relative. Think about it. The past only exists in your memory. The future only exists in your imagination. The only thing that truly exists is this moment right now. Yet your mind constantly drags you into regrets of the past or anxieties about the future. You are trapped in a psychological loop, reliving what's gone, fearing what hasn't happened. And in doing so, you miss the only thing that is real, the present. Time becomes a prison, not because it's real, but because you believe it is. You measure your life by it. You stress over it. You feel like you're running out of it. But what if you're not? What if time is just a construct, a tool created to organize experience, not define existence? The moment you truly understand this, everything changes. Pressure disappears. Fear weakens. You stop chasing time and start living beyond it. Because the truth is, you were never bound by time. You were only taught to believe that you are. From the moment you learned your name, you started believing you are someone specific, a label, a personality, a fixed identity. But what if that identity is nothing more than a mask you've been wearing your entire life? Think about it. Your name was given to you. Your beliefs were taught to you. Your personality was shaped by experiences you didn't choose. So who are you really? Beneath the labels, beneath the roles, something untouched. But you've been so busy playing the role that you've forgotten the actor behind it. Society needs you to identify with something. Your job, your status, your past. Because once you define yourself, you limit yourself. And the limited mind is easy to control. Einstein didn't just study the universe, he questioned existence itself. He understood that reality isn't just external, it's internal. The way you see yourself shapes the way you experience everything. And if your identity is built on illusion, then your entire life is built on illusion. The real danger is not that you don't know who you are, it's that you're convinced you do. Because that belief locks you in place. But the moment you question your identity, everything shifts. You realize you are not your past, not your fears, not your labels. You are something far more powerful, something that cannot be defined or controlled. And once you truly understand that no system, no opinion, no limitation can hold you back ever again. Look around you. Nature is not random. The way trees grow, the way planets move, the way patterns repeat, there is a hidden order behind everything. A code, something precise, something intelligent. Nothing exists by accident. Einstein believed that the universe operates with a deep sense of harmony, that behind the chaos there is structure. And if that's true, then your life is not random either. Every event, every moment, every experience is part of something bigger. But here's what most people don't realize. You are not separate from this system. You are part of it. The same energy that flows through the stars flows through you. The same laws that govern the universe govern your existence. Yet you've been taught to see yourself as small, insignificant, powerless. That belief disconnects you from your true nature. Because if you ever realize that you are connected to everything, you become unstoppable. The universe doesn't work against you. It responds to you. Your thoughts, your emotions, your focus, all of it interacts with hidden code. And once you understand how it works, you stop being a passive observer of life. You become a creator. But most people never reach this point because they never question the surface. They live, they follow, they repeat, never realizing the deeper truth. But you are different. You are starting to see it. And once you see the pattern, once you feel the connection, you can never go back to believing you are just another ordinary part of this world. Because you are not in the universe. You are the universe experiencing itself. There is something you were never meant to discover. Not because it's dangerous, but because it's powerful. The world you live in runs on systems, systems of control, influence, and limitation. And the easiest way to control people is to control what they believe is true. From a young age, you are fed information, not to free your mind, but to shape it, to guide you into a predictable path, to make sure you don't question too much. Because the moment you start asking the right questions, the system begins to lose its grip on you. Einstein was not just a scientist, he was a thinker who challenged accepted norms. He didn't blindly accept what he was told. He explored, doubted, and redefined reality itself. And that's exactly what makes independent thinkers so powerful and so rare. Because truth doesn't come from following, it comes from questioning. The problem is, most people never reach that point. They trust what they see, they believe what they are told, they stay within the boundaries created for them, and they call it reality. But reality is not what you're shown, it's what you discover beyond the surface. The truth is not hidden because it's complicated, it's hidden because it would change everything. It would make you think differently, act differently, live differently, and the person who sees the truth cannot be easily controlled. So the question is, are you ready to see it? Because once you do, there is no going back. You either stay comfortable in the illusion or step into a truth that will change your life forever. Imagine being locked inside a prison, but the walls are invisible. You can't see them, you can't touch them, but they are there, shaping every decision you make. That prison is your mind, not your brain, your conditioned mind, the one filled with fear, doubt, and limitation that you never chose. Every time you think, I can't, every time you hesitate, every time fear stops you, that's the prison speaking. And the worst part, you think it's you. You think those limits define you, but they don't. They were placed there slowly over time through experiences. Society reinforces them. Your environment strengthens them. And eventually, you accept them as truth. Einstein once said that the mind that created a problem cannot solve it at the same level. That means if you stay within the same patterns of thinking, you stay trapped. Breaking free doesn't mean changing your circumstances. It means changing your perception. Seeing beyond the limits your mind has created. Questioning every belief that holds you back. Because the moment you realize that your thoughts are not always true, the prison begins to break. The walls weaken, the control fades, and suddenly you see possibilities where there were none. Freedom doesn't come from outside, it comes from within, but only if you are willing to challenge the voice in your head, the one that says you're not enough, the one that keeps you small, because that voice is not you. And the moment you stop listening to it, you step out of the prison you never knew you were in. What if your thoughts are not entirely your own? What if the way you feel, the way you react, even the way you see the world is influenced by forces you don't even notice? Every day you are exposed to information through media, people, environment, and slowly, subtly, it shapes you. It tells you what to value, what to fear, what to desire. And over time, those external influences become your internal reality. You start believing that your thoughts are original, but they are often reflections of what you've been exposed to. Einstein understood that perception is everything, that how you observe the world changes what you experience. But what happens when your perception itself is manipulated? Then your reality is no longer yours, it's engineered, designed, controlled. You react without questioning. You follow without realizing. And you live inside a narrative that was never created by you. The danger is not in the influence itself, it's in the lack of awareness. Because once you become aware, everything changes. You start questioning your reactions. You observe your thoughts, instead of blindly following them. You take back control. And that's when the illusion begins to break. Because reality is not fixed, it's shaped by perception. And perception can be reclaimed, but only if you're willing to see beyond what you've been conditioned to believe. Because if you don't take control of your mind, someone else will, and they already might be. You were told that success means money, status, recognition, that if you achieve enough, earn enough, become enough, you will finally feel complete. But look around. How many people have everything yet feel empty inside? That's because the definition of success you were given was never meant to fulfill you. It was meant to keep you chasing. Society thrives on this chase. It pushes you to compare, compete, and constantly seek validation. And in doing so, it keeps you distracted from what truly matters. Einstein lived a simple life, not driven by status, but by curiosity and understanding. He didn't measure success by wealth, but by insight. And that's where most people go wrong. They build their lives based on externals instead of internal truth. They follow paths that look successful, but feel meaningless. And they ignore the quiet voice inside that knows something is off. The truth is, success is not what you've been told. It's not something you achieve. It's something you define. The moment you stop chasing what society tells you to want, you start discovering what you truly need. And that changes everything. Because real success is not about impressing others. It's about aligning with yourself, living with purpose, thinking freely, being real in a world full of illusion. But that path is not easy, because it requires you to step outside the system, to question everything, to walk alone if necessary. But in the end, it's the only path that leads to something real. Right now, as you're listening to this, your life is passing. Seconds turning into minutes, minutes into years. And one day, it will all be over. Not as a threat, but as a fact. The real question is, will you ever truly wake up before that moment comes? Most people don't. They live on autopilot. Wake up, repeat, survive without ever questioning why. They delay their dream, ignore their potential. Stay comfortable in routines that slowly drain them. And before they realize it, time is gone. Einstein understood the value of perspective, that life is not just about existing, it's about understanding existence, seeing beyond the surface, experiencing life consciously. But that requires awareness. It requires you to stop and look at your life honestly. Are you living or just existing? Are your choices truly yours, or are they shaped by fear, expectation, and habit? Waking up is not easy. It's uncomfortable. It forces you to face truths you've been avoiding. But it's also the most powerful thing you can do. Because once you wake up, you start living with intention. You stop wasting time on things that don't matter. You focus on what's real, what's meaningful. And suddenly, life becomes something deeper, something more. But here's the truth. Not everyone wakes up. Some people spend their entire lives asleep, trapped in illusions they never question. So the choice is yours. Stay asleep or wake up now, because later might be too late. So now you've seen it, not the full truth, but enough to question everything you once believed, the reality you trusted, the identity you held on to, the life you thought was truly yours, was never as real as it seemed. And now, standing at this point, you have a choice. You can go back, ignore everything, and continue living inside the same illusion, the same pattern, the same invisible limits. Or you can start questioning, start thinking for yourself, start seeing beyond what you were told to see. Because the moment you begin to question reality is the moment you begin to take control of it. This isn't just the end of a video. This is the beginning of your awakening, a shift in awareness, a new way of seeing everything around you. And once that shift happens, there's no going back to who you were before. So if something inside you feels different right now, if a part of you is starting to wake up, don't ignore it, follow it, because that's where the truth begins. Welcome to asterisk, reality unlocked. Asterisk, where illusions break and truth begins. And if this opens your mind even a little, make sure you stay connected, because this is just the beginning.